Hi guys, this is Guru Prasad and I'm here to interview Pradeep Reddy and I've come to his farm and let us talk to him and understand what all he has been doing and what are his plans and everything. This is his farm which he started. In fact, even I started here. So, hi Pradeep,
Hi
what are you
sir,
doing?
welcome.
So,
Welcome back to your own farm.
so this is where you started and very nice to be here.
Yes,
And uh, this is this has given you a lot of confidence and to move to the next level.
definitely.
Let us talk about it and also tell viewers what they can get it from here.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself and your background and how you got interested in this hydroponics as such.
Hello, good morning. Belasiri Balaga, Namaskara. This is Pradeep and I'm student of Mr. Guru Prasad. So this was the first farm where I started. In fact, I got this farm from Mr. Guru Prasad. He was doing here in the beginning, and after he left, I took over this and then I started. So this was a very small setup. This the purpose of taking this farm was to learn. No matter how much online or offline training we take, but we have to do it hands-on by ourselves. So if we have to do hands-on by ourselves, there are many things that we have to learn. So therefore we have to start from a small farm always. So therefore I took this small farm and then I added other structures like polysheet and these NFT channels, everything. So in this farm we have only 240 plants capacity of 2 NFT systems initially. There is still space that I can extend, but I'll be doing it very soon. So how I got interested in hydroponics? Yeah, that's a very good question because I was working for an organic fertilizers company and we were trying to develop organic fertilizer which are soluble in water. So liquid organic fertilizers was our main target. So because of that work, I was talking with all urban farmers whoever need these liquid organic fertilizers, and then that's how I got in touch with Mr. Guru Prasad. But somewhere since I come from agriculture background, my family do traditional agriculture in our village. I always had a passion for growing plants in balcony. Always wherever I go, I was in Taiwan for about 10 years and then I came back to India and now it's 2 years here. Wherever I go, all my balconies and terraces I used to grow many plants. That was my passion. So with this I always wanted to start something in my balcony first. And then hydroponics was a very booming concept, and then I thought hydroponic will be very suitable for balconies to do for myself, and that's why I wanted to learn. But as you know, it was quite busy schedule, office work and everything, but lockdown gave a very good opportunity, enough of free time for ourselves to go back to our dreams and then see what we can learn extra skills so that all our dreams can come true. So then I learned about hydroponics. I studied various papers, research papers and also articles, and then I contacted Mr. Guru Prasad to have an official training. And apart from reading and training, what I learned is from this farm, I have to say. Only when you start doing hydroponics we learn a lot. Everything I learned in this farm, how to grow. I have grown so many things in this farm in this 1 year. Right now, since I'm concentrating on my bigger commercial project, which I will show you in the end of this video, I didn't spend much time in this farm these days. But apart from that, I have grown various things. I'll let you know as we proceed in this video.
Yeah, you are right, Pradeep. It's very always true that you should start small and practice a lot. That's very important. Hard work is showing the results. I can see that. And how many months it took for you to realize that you can go for bigger scale. I know you are a very quick learner, and you saw lots of you got lots of fast results because of your hard efforts. And I just want to know, and I want to let others know that how many months you took to realize that you can go bigger.
For me, I took 6 months to get complete confidence in myself that yes, I can I can grow anything in hydroponics. It doesn't depend on number of months, but it depends on how many varieties you grow in the beginning. I didn't do any commercial growing. Yeah, I didn't want to grow and sell. Selling was not my focus point in the beginning. My focus point in the beginning when I took this farm from you was to grow as many varieties as possible, so that I get a hold of all varieties to grow.
Right.
So therefore, I didn't sell anything. In fact, I consumed, me and my relatives and my apartment neighbors, we consumed almost all the produce that we grow here. I even gave for this landlord a lot of produce.
So yeah, that was a very good point you brought up. Like the experience is like how many things you grow. Not like how many months you grow. So what all varieties you grow so far, and which was you think was the most challenging, or which you think you could not grow in hydroponics, or you're still trying to grow in hydroponics?
Yes, I started with palak. It's a very humble crop, and we eat a lot. So we eat twice a week palak. So I started with palak first, and that was very easy. And I thought I'm already a hydroponic farmer when I grew palak. And then I ventured into this amaranthus. Amaranthus was a little difficult because these amaranthus plants, they are very prone to very high temperatures, so they tend to wilt very fast when compared to palak. And after amaranthus, then I ventured into lettuce. So in lettuce, I started with green rapids, green leaf lettuce, the red leaf lettuce, and romaine lettuce. These were the 4 varieties I grew. And then, because they are good to eat and they taste better than other lettuces, that's why I selected them. And then I wanted to grow iceberg lettuce. So coming back to your question, which was very tough in all these varieties, including palak, amaranthus, and all the lettuce, iceberg lettuce was the very toughest one for me. So I don't know why, but later on I figured what is the difficult in growing iceberg lettuce at this temperature, that's in Bangalore. So it's not really possible to have that a complete cabbage-like looking iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce should look like cabbage, a small cabbage first. It should not open up, the leaves should not spread out. But it's very difficult in these temperatures. But that is also possible if we want to grow commercially. Like, we need to have very good sophisticated greenhouses where it's completely not naturally ventilated, completely closed, but temperature controlled with fan pad system. So if we take care of those part, iceberg is also not a very difficult thing. But right now I don't have so much funds to have a fan pad system of greenhouse, so therefore I couldn't do iceberg. But the iceberg which I grew was like, again, the leaves were open, but the taste was good. There's no point in that. There's no difference in that. But it's not iceberg. So that was a difficult thing. Apart from NFT systems, coming back to these coco peat bag system, then I grew tomatoes, the eggplants, chilies, capsicum. All these are the 4 varieties which I tried. The tomatoes was really good, and I didn't know what to do with so many tomatoes. With just 10 plants of tomato plants, both I use this grow and bloom nutrients in combination.
In next 1 year.
Yeah. So after as I said, I was confident for about 6 months that within this trial farm, now I can go for a commercial project. So then I ventured into a partnership with one of the investor, and then I have come up with a 2000 square feet commercial hydroponics, where the capacity is about 200 kgs per week. So that's the capacity that we have. Around 4,800 plants capacity, all NFTs. I didn't want to do any grow bag system there because I wanted to grow only the leafy vegetables. So that has come up, everything is ready, and trial runs have also been successful. I will show you the pictures in the end. So then we will go with commercial production of leafy greens there. And we have in another 1 year we will be extending that in the same place to about 5,000 to 6,000 square feet, and then we will go for grow bag system, one separate house for grow bag system. I forgot to tell in the beginning, whenever you are having commercial projects, it's good to have one separate greenhouse for NFT system, one separate greenhouse for grow bag system. I know many people have one huge greenhouse and divide it into NFTs and grow bag system, but in my experience, the pests and insects that come for the plants that grow in grow bag system then do affect the green leaves that are growing in the NFT system. That I learned in this small farm itself, where I had my tomato and capsicum plants. At that time, my amaranthus and spinach itself had very a high infection. Then once I removed those plants, then these plants were very good. So therefore it's good to have smaller units for different system. Then we will go for capsicum and zucchini also in grow bag system. Right now that is the only plan for next year. Yes.
All right, very good, useful tips. It should always be modular rather than what is trying to say is don't do it in a very big way. I mean, if you do it big way, but in a modular phase. Don't mix up everything and make your life more miserable. So, how are you planning to sell your produce, or how are you selling it already?
Yeah, that's a very good question because ultimately once we are going for commercially, then we need to think about where we are going to sell. So initially I gave to local buyers whatever I grew in this trial farm in the end. So with those contacts, then based on their demand, whatever can be sold in those shops or with those clients, I take the feedback from them, and only those things I'll be growing in the commercial thing. It's not good to grow whatever you like to grow and then find the buyer. Always have contacts with your buyer, whoever local people. It can be direct retail shops or the middleman who purchases these from farmers and then supply to various other end users. So have contacts with them and then make a survey of what they are good in selling or what is being sold in high quantities and what is their demand. I know spinach is being sold in very high quantities in hydroponics. But then since everyone were doing spinach, then amaranthus was what I selected so that we can complement with each other. So either it can be in discussion with the buyer, you have to discuss with them and then see what one or two crops that you can grow for him, and then those things you need to plan. So I have around 2 or 3 local buyers contact, and they are selling it for local apartments and all those things right now. So far I haven't talked to any big buyers, so-called big buyers who collect from various sources and then supply for online retailing joints. But so far it's still a small players. But in future I'm planning to have a food license in my name. So once I have my food license with a company name, then I can pack it by myself and then give it directly to those online joints. The online joints, those huge people, they definitely need a food license from you and a company name. They need a label, everything from you. So in 1 year from now, this is also a pending work. I need to get a food license and have to do it. But hydroponic cannot be in a separate category. But one thing good what I found is many online sellers they have separated hydroponic products under a separate category like hydroponic products. That's good. Instead of mixing them with all the regular products, they have separated them. So the customers there, whoever is aware of hydroponic produce, the benefits of hydroponic, then directly go to that category and purchase. So in that way, they can also sell at a higher price. So things are getting better, especially after this lockdown. Hopefully this trend will continue. People are more health conscious now. They want to eat healthy food. They can pay a little higher price, but the food what they eat should be healthy. So therefore, if the same trend continues, then we need to keep watching the market, and whatever is in demand, we need to grow in the commercial projects.
Awesome. So very important question, as far as I'm concerned, right? So what do you think being part of Belasiri has helped you?
Well, you know that I contacted you for a different reason, and then I wanted to start hydroponics. So that was one advantage, because I always wanted to grow something in the balcony, as I said. Then I got this hydroponic technique itself from you, and the Belasiri community has grown since I talked to you. So when I talked to you, it was in still an initial stage. It's good. I made very good contacts in Belasiri community, and whatever problems comes, I sometimes post it in the group. Sometimes I call you and then ask. And all my small things, whichever I want to buy, like including a pH meter or a TDS meter or even a hydrogen peroxide, those small things, instead of running around shops, then I directly come to you and I take it from you. It's been a good support for me. Otherwise, I don't think I would have got so much of confidence that I can go to commercial projects, because when we go for commercial projects, I have to be very careful. It's not child's play. It's not rocket science, and it's not child's play. So we have to balance in between. So we need to be very careful where we get all our materials, and then who will support us, and whom to approach if we find any problems, and where to get these solutions. We need to be well prepared for that. So in that regard, Belasiri community helped me a lot. So that's the reason why I got this confidence to go to commercial project. Yes.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Pradeep. And it makes sense, right? When you said, we have to grow together. It's not, as you said, it's not a rocket science, but still, without your hard effort, nothing can work. So we give guidance, but you have done a great job, by doing it yourself, and many things you figured out yourself. It's not like, we tell you how to drive, and if you don't drive, it's again a problem. So fantastic, and we wish you all the best in your future ventures, and hope you will do lots of such farms, big farms, and be a rich farmer. Thank you so much, Pradeep. And we'll be showing his new farm in this video. And
Hello everyone, welcome again. So after my initial hydroponic setup, which was a small one, was very successful, and I was very confident being an hydroponic farmer, then I ventured into a partnership with one of the investor, and here we have come up with a new project of 2000 square feet hydroponic setup. The polyhouse was built recently for hydroponics, and we have set up all the hydroponic equipments and other necessary things required very recently. And the trial run of growing lettuce is going on here. We haven't started growing using the complete setup, but I can show you the trial plants that we have done here. So let's go inside. So this is how it looks inside. So you can see the lettuce that we are growing for trial basis, and you can also see all the empty stands which are ready to go full-fledged very recently. The seedlings are ready, and I can show you all the seedlings and even the lettuce that is being grown here. So that's about this new project. I really can't wait to see all the stands covered with various kinds of hydroponic plants, and thank you so much, and please wish me all the good luck. Thank you.